Hello, James Hester here again, and welcome to day 21 of my 90-day carnivore challenge. And it was a very, very big week. Now, first of all, I lost another 3 pounds. So I'm down 15 pounds in my first 21 days. So 3 weeks, 15 pounds, that's pretty good, but that's not what I'm excited about. I told you in my earlier videos about all the chronic diseases that I'm hoping that this, the carnivore lifestyle will either, at least significantly help, if not reverse altogether. And in one of my earlier videos, I shared with you all the medications that I've been taking for years, such as, I've been on insulin for 20 years. And through the years, they just keep increasing the dose. They started me out as just one shot a day of a slow acting insulin, and then that moved to twice a day, and then they're like, well, I think you need the fast acting insulin, and I started injecting that before every meal, and then that wasn't enough, and so they gave me a shot called Victoza that's supposed to help my pancreas, I think, produce more insulin. And so I was just loading up for 20 years, taking insulin and just taking more and more all the time. And Tuesday night, when I went to bed, my blood sugar was down to 76, which I can't remember in decades my blood sugar being that low. And so I purposely skipped my night dose of insulin that night because I didn't want it to get too low, but it did. It got too low anyway, and twice during the middle of the night, I was woken up with an alarm from my glucose monitor. I got all the way down to 64 on my blood sugar. So I was still low the next day, and so I didn't take any insulin. And the next day I didn't take any insulin. And anyway, 5 days later now, I haven't used insulin any at all, and my blood sugars are perfectly normal. I am stabilized now anywhere from 85 to, even after a big meal, the biggest I'll see my blood sugar spike is like 109. So I'm sitting there staying in the 80s to under 110, which is absolutely perfect. And so, 5 days now with no insulin. And, if you don't think that's a big deal, for someone who was giving themselves up to 6 injections in the stomach per day, for years and years and years, to all of a sudden not need that just because of a change in diet, when doctors for years and years have told me that this is a chronic disease that'll never go away. They can give me the medication and they can give me the insulin and they can help me live with this disease, but I'm going to have it for the rest of my life. And, the truth of the matter is, if I had stayed on the standard American diet, I probably would have. Also on that, I had told you as well that I was on 4 different medications for my blood pressure. Well, my blood pressure has stabilized as well to a point to where, I knew for sure that I didn't need the clonidine anymore, because when I first got prescribed that, it was because my blood pressures were reading, 180 over 110. They were ridiculously, dangerously high. And that's like the last tier of medication that they ever want to prescribe, because it is the most dangerous. It comes with the largest list of side effects of all of the blood pressure medications. And so throughout the week, I weaned myself off of that, because you can't stop that, just immediately, because it can be fatal if you just stop it immediately. So I cut back to, from twice a day to once a day, and then once every other day, once every third day. I actually started that last week, weaning myself, and now I'm completely off of the clonidine. I'm completely off of the metoprolol, and I'm completely off the chlorthalidone, which is the water pill. They gave me that because, I was retaining water, worse than a sea cow, years ago. And I've just taken it ever since. But so now I am down to taking 1 losartan pill per day for my blood pressure. And that's the only prescription medication that I'm taking out of my huge collection of prescriptions that I was taking, just on January 1st, 3 weeks ago, when I started this 90-day carnivore challenge. A whole collection of prescription medications that I was taking, and now I'm down to 1 pill a day. So to me, that's huge and life-changing. I mean, as far as what I ate and stuff this week, I go over that each week, and it just didn't change much. I really am keeping this as simple as possible. And I had burger patties and one meal I had bacon and eggs. I had a pork chop and a couple of boiled eggs for one meal. Our water well froze, and so we didn't have clean containers to take hot foods with me to work. So there were about 3 days there where I just had to take lunch meats with me, and I know those aren't the best in the world, but I did choose roast. I felt that was better than some, and so I took roast beef and some boiled eggs for like 3 days to work. And last night I had boiled shrimp and a couple of burger patties. But my blood pressures all week long were in the the 135 over 82, 136 over 83, 134 over 81. 130 over 88. While some doctors may say, oh, that's still a little high, there's a lot of guidelines and a lot of doctors out there, especially the doctors that are into carnivore and things that say that anything under 140 over 90 is absolutely perfectly acceptable as far as a blood pressure. But I do know that even without the medications, these will still tighten up and get even better over time. Because, when I started, I was, 150 and 160 for the top number just 3 weeks ago, 160 over 99 and things of that sort. So I'm already down to 134 over 82, 135 over 83, 136 over, pretty good numbers. And my blood sugars, like I said, all week long, we're talking about, I'm seeing the highest one was like a 112. I had 76 when I went to bed. I got woke up twice during the night with blood sugars in the 60s, once 65, I believe. So that was too low. And that's when I decided, hey, I'm going to lay off the insulin for a while and monitor it and see what happens. And sure enough, my blood sugars stayed right where they're supposed to be. And so hopefully, God willing, I'll be off of the insulin now for the rest of my life. A fantastic week. Very excited. And I just wish I had started this sooner. That the energy level, is still just getting better by the day. I literally ran up the stairs today at church, and it was just, well, I didn't really run, but you know what I mean. I went up the stairs with no problems today and down the stairs. Whereas, I told you in earlier videos that for a couple of years, I had to use the elevator. I was not physically able to go up a flight of stairs. And now I'm just going up and down them with ease. I'm trying to get 10,000 steps in per day. During conference periods at school, I'll get out there and just walk the halls. And there's a lot of days where, by the time I go home, I've already got 10,000 steps in for the day, and I don't even have to do any more walking. When it's warmer, I do go for a little walk after dinner, and I just try to do more standing and less sitting, and just moving around a little bit. But the cool thing is I have the energy to do that now. I used to not want to, and now I want to. So, hey, if this is the first video that you found of mine, please go back and watch the earlier ones. I'm tracking this. I've got videos from day one. So you get to track me from the very beginning on this journey and just see the transformation in me week after week after week. And I give you updates on my weight, blood pressures, blood sugars. I shared my early lab work and prescription medications, and I'm going to get my labs done again at the end of this 90 days so you can see the significant transformation in my health. And thank you for following me. That's all I've got for today. Hit that subscribe and that bell and the alert so that you know when I come out with my updates each week. And I look forward to talking to you again next week. Thank you. Bye-bye.